And welcome to another edition of the Nightly News. And you know what, Ted? All week long, we've talked about the out of control Department of Justice. I'm going to mention his name every week. My friend Mike Roman, who's under subpoena right now. Just tragically, what's going on? Political persecution of political opponents should never happen in America, but it is. What's your words to we the people today, Ted? Those of us that are sitting at home right now, scared to death of what may happen to us with a rampant FBI, and those that are out there thinking, hey, should we just abandon the Trump train and make everything easier for ourselves?
It's real simple. Nancy Pelosi is worth hundreds of millions of dollars because she's a criminal and she's corrupt, and she is the tip of the criminal corruption in the U.S. government. That's why they hate Donald Trump. So when our elected employees can enrich themselves with big pharma forcing experimental shots, the trillions of dollars in big pharma violations of science, the abandonment of science, the intentional mass distribution of fentanyl and pharmaceuticals that are killing and destroying Americans every minute of every day. When you've got that level of corruption, Donald Trump comes in from outside as a successful businessman, and I believe cockiness and confidence are the ultimate attributes of a leader and an entrepreneur. As a band leader, I want my guide and outfitter to be really cocky about where the elk might be and tell me to shut up and follow him. Donald Trump represents a crowbar in the status quo of an ever-increasing corrupt and criminal regime that Uncle Sam has turned into. That's so clear. I'm going to be on the record right now, Keith, that Ted Nugent officially endorses Donald J. Trump in whatever decision he makes, because he's an outsider, he's unafraid. I'd like the $1.87 a gallon for gas. I'd like secure borders. I'd like the lowest unemployment in the history of America. I like the greatest economy in the history of America. I like that the polluters of the world pay their own fines, not the taxpayers of America. I like getting out of foreign police wars. Everything Donald Trump did was good for America, good for the world, and good for mankind, unless you're a communist and a criminal. And because the Democrat Party and too many so-called Republicans qualify as criminals and communists taking advantage of we the sheeple, I want a guy with a crowbar like Donald Trump. Whatever Donald Trump decides to do, I think the conservative families of America should rally around this guy, just like we do at his presentations and his rallies. Unprecedented numbers, unprecedented chantings by tens of thousands of American families. We love you because we love what Donald Trump did to make America great. And that's it in a nutshell, Keith. The Democrats don't want America great. They want us dumb, subservient, and dependent upon them, which is why they're destroying the food chain and the entire supply chain. Donald Trump is an outsider that fixed almost every problem America had. He made a big mistake trusting Dr. Fauci, and he made a really stupid mistake with the bump stocks, banning a little apparatus that goes on a firearm that makes your gun less effective, less accurate. So I can only name those two mistakes he made. Otherwise, Donald J. Trump, for 4 years, made America great, greater than it has ever been in my lifetime. I support Donald Trump. And if you believe in God, family, country, freedom, justice, work ethic, independence, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and law and order, Donald Trump is Michael the Archangel in a world of devils. The president, in his recent address, mentioned that we are having a war for the soul of America. Unfortunately, Joe Biden represents the demonic side of that soul. Donald Trump, you and I, hardworking American families, people who believe in goodwill and decency and the golden rule. Joe Biden abandoned the golden rule 51 years ago. The Democrat Party abandoned the golden rule. For my entire lifetime, I've witnessed it erode and be abandoned. Donald Trump represents the golden rule. I represent the golden rule. I don't just want secure borders for the Nugent family security. I want secure borders for all Americans. I want violent criminals kept in the cages, not for the Nugent family security, but for everybody's security, including people that don't agree with me. But the other side, they want to ban my guns. And if you don't want to own a gun, don't own a gun. But if you're unarmed and helpless, that is the agenda of the left, then the intentional release of violent criminals will do whatever they damn well please to an unarmed and helpless, subservient subject of a tyrannical regime that Joe Biden represents. So once again, Donald Trump followed truth, logic, common sense, the Constitution, law and order, goodwill and decency that is encapsulated by the golden rule. That's who I stand for. That's what I stand for. And the best American families are shoulder to shoulder with me.
Powerful. Well, tomorrow, Ted, I want to talk about how this entire attack on we the people hit really close to the Nugent home multiple times, but I want to talk about one in particular. Started in St. Louis in a speech he gave for the NRA and ended up in Ardmore, Oklahoma. So if you guys come back tomorrow night, we'll have Ted tell us about how this attack came right to the Nugent doorstep on another edition of the Nightly Nuge, where there is no fake news.